organic movement over the last 18 months of women helping other women become more involved in tech. Whether it's eGirl dinners, Girl Development, Web Start Women, High Star, the Hackery, and of course my favorite Tech Girls, there's been a desire for those of us who are involved in these organizations to correct the imbalance that each of us has witnessed in the tech industry.
I want to start with a lot of thank yous. The first one is a thank you to all of you for taking a chance on a first-time event where you kind of really didn't have any idea what we were doing when we first started promoting this. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here.
I want to be able to go into work in the next couple of weeks. I have open positions at Dell, Boomi, please go look. I want to be able to see women's resumes coming in on my desk. I don't have any women's resumes on my desk, only men.
That's my initial. How can all of these tools that you need to do or want to do, how can it save us money? And if they don't understand technology, I'm sure they're going to understand that.
The very first time I played with what we built, when I played the prototype, was I still remember being in complete awe that this was just an idea a few months ago, and now here it is. I'm actually playing with it and it's working.
I don't want to say that you don't have to know how to program, but I think it is one of the biggest misconceptions that the only job in technology is a software engineer. That there are a lot of other roles.
I was never a coder, and to this day when I identify myself as a tech, they go, oh, you can code? And I go, no. They go, oh, can you fix my PC? No. There are more things in technology than those two things.
I think partnership is kind of what makes the world go round, and I think if you are a leader, you're only as good as your team.
I know how you feel, because there's many times that I've done that, like, okay, I'm going to do whatever it takes to, and then later I'm like, well, wait a minute, I really would have rather have done that, but then I didn't ask for it.
I manage my life in these tiny pieces, and I wanted to organize my paperwork of information in those tiny pieces. I would never say to my kids, let's do health today. And I couldn't understand why anyone didn't make my calendar more useful for managing my family, not just my family calendar, but my household information that went with it. So that's where the idea came from. I want to be able to print my calendar, have it on the wall, have it on all my apps, and my husband knows where he's got to be.
Now with the responsive design, most of these are the complete opposite. You'll have, this is just one website. You'll have one URL that works on all devices. You'll have the same code base that gets fed to every device. And you have the same content, right? So you're not going to write extra content for a responsive site.
Entrepreneurs are solving a problem, a pain point that exists, and generally entrepreneurs are solving a pain point that they're aware of that exists. Well, if you were in a room full of 30 men, then sometimes and you're pitching to them, the problem that you've identified is not a problem that they can understand.
Like I said, the hardest part of swim practice is diving in the pool. You just have to get started. And from time to time you might feel like you're drowning, but there are plenty of people who are willing to help. And you do have to find the right person, but you just got to get started.
So the differentiation we have not yet made is mentoring versus advice. Everybody will give you advice. That's not a problem. You want to go out and tell your problems to people, they're going to give you some advice. But there is a qualification piece that you as the mentee are responsible to do to make sure that this person is qualified to give you mentoring.
So what I would say is, in terms of your ability to give back, what I would ask you to do is don't say no. I know you've heard this a couple of times. Saying no is actually the best way to kill an idea. If you want to do something, somebody had approached me earlier today, she wanted to do a diversity panel. I said, great, go out and do it.
1 week after my child, no, 2 weeks after my child was born, I had two realizations. One was that I needed to ask for help, and the other one was I needed to learn to use the word no.
And I noticed that we trended for the hashtag before the end of the first session, so I wanna say that. Thank you for that. So what I want to talk about is kind of where we take this from here. Where do we want this to go? And
I think it's really up to you guys. Who wants to see a second annual Women in Tech Summit? Yay! All right. Every hand went up, and that's fantastic.
So yes, we talked about how we're gonna all stay in touch, and so a couple things to remember. You can search the Twitter archive and see kind of if you want to catch up on what went on. We'll also probably blog about it on the website. And also on that website, there's a great list of resources of some of the women in tech organizations here in Philadelphia that if you didn't know about them before today, you've probably heard of them multiple times. So I encourage you to go and check those out.